What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Now, I know it's been a hot minute since I've done a So Rare video, but we are now done with All-Star break, and as ever in the NBA season, that can only mean one thing. We are that bit closer to the NBA playoffs. We're now at sort of the proper end of the season, the crunch time. This is where it matters. This is where you need to start picking up your wins, playing consistent basketball, and also playing consistent So Rare, shall we say, as well. I've got a few rewards that I want to show you, thanks to a certain someone that we'll get onto in a minute. And also, I'll run you through some of the smash plays that you need for game week 34. Let's get into it, shall we? All right, then. So we've got 20 rewards to open in the new sort of reward structure. Yes, that looks like a lot, but it's actually over a couple of weeks. I think 2 game weeks are in there. There's also an All-Star break. I'm not sure if the cash is from there because I won $20 in the daily competition for the All-Star game. If you didn't know that there was $7,500 up for rewards, it's probably because they didn't really mention it. I didn't really know until sort of the day before when I looked at the sort of the lineups that were there in the daily competitions. But that's something that I'm hoping communication, we're kind of saying this all the time now, that gets slightly better, that we can get a few more insights as to when they're going to be these big prize pools. But yeah, All-Star Weekend was a bit of an odd one. There was a lot of stuff on the socials which was really fun, but also on the game itself there was no actual sort of competition week like we had last time with the dunk contest, the 3-point contest, and so on and so forth. And then it was just the daily, but for the main All-Star game, where there was prizes, but it wasn't really mentioned. It was a bit odd. But anyway, we've got some of this stuff. I'm going to open this and just also have a little bit of a chat with you in terms of where So Rare NBA is right now. So obviously, like I said before at the top of the video, we're going into the business end of the season. I'm hoping, as we pick up a K coming when the daily stuff now, there's also daily essence, if you didn't see that now. I think it's basically just replaced the gems in which you can pick up and sell the common cards. And there's also now gallery bonuses and so on and so forth for it. But we'll open these first. Tier 2 guard, American for the Bulls. Kobe White, we'll take that. We'll probably look to sell him. And Tier 3 in the rare, guard forward, American for the Spurs. Little Keldon Johnson. So, if you've got a first owner Wemby, let me know and we can sort something out there. That's not really going to move the needle too much for me. I've got some of the boxes for Essence and stuff, and we'll rip through these in the background. But I think the main thing I wanted to talk about really is sort of where we are as we're now in that sort of official but unofficial halfway point. What we'd like to see in between the spaces of now and the playoffs, because obviously I'm sure the ideas of what they've got ready for the playoffs to come is probably 95% complete, if not already complete. But I'd like to see something in the meantime that just isn't slight changes to dailies, because I feel like some of the prizes that they've put in them are fantastic, but they're also like almost, I would say, too good. Like we've had loads of All-Star jerseys. We've had there's been tickets, there's been monetary prizes, there's been other things that have been put in there as we pick up 15 Essence right there. But I feel like it could be blended between sort of the actual competitions and also dailies, because I've got to the point where I didn't know that the daily was coming, where it's got something really good inside of it, but I've already put my main team in my weekly competition, but it's done really well, so now I don't want to take it out just to play the daily, and it's been a little bit merged. So because we don't have the option as well to play cards in the same weekly competition as we do daily, it then gets a little bit flustered and so on and so forth. But in any case, a bit like they done with MLB this year, I'm hoping for some chases, for some sort of monthly long leaderboards or 4 game weeks in a row. So it's just a fortnight, 2 weeks in a row. Something where it's looking at a bit more of the longer term scope, because I just want something different, but I don't want them to change the whole game. I just want little different dynamics and complexities, as opposed to, it's Monday, here's your deadline. It's Friday, here's your deadline. And then every now and then there's a random competition that we can use in the dailies. And don't get me wrong, they're really, really fun and I love them. And maybe do the dailies as a cumulative leaderboard that you need to do every day. And then that drives engagement so that you can use that in your stats. I'm just thinking of some things here where we can sort of change it up a little bit, keep things a little bit fresh without having another event where we need to buy brand new cards in the primary auctions. That's ideally it. And don't get me wrong, I understand primary auctions are the business model and the sustainability and all of this sort of stuff, but show some love for the older season cards as well. I know they did that with the daily in terms of what we saw in the All-Star event. You didn't need brand new cards for it. But it would be nice just to see sort of, one in-season card or something like that, just to tick it going. We're back up to 223 on the limited essence after all of that. Obviously, OG viewers will remember what happened when we ripped the 550.
Flashback.
There's no way. There's literally no way. It has taken 500 essence. Wow. That's not even like a little bit disappointing. That's like really disappointing. Yes, that did happen. And I'm not sure if I'm going to stay there to 550. Basically, I was going to rip it at 100, but then I thought, I'll keep it until I make a video again. And then I just got bogged down with other stuff and couldn't get back. And we've just accumulated 223. So at this point, I might save it for 400 and we'll rip it again and we'll do it. Hopefully, I'll try and get some more streams back up now. It's a little bit more of an easier time of year for me. But, I think in this sense, I'm not going to rip it now. I think maybe 400 is the play. The rare one's the difficult one. I think at this point now, 249, I might as well keep it until at least 325. The idea of getting it to 450 is nice. But I mean, look, if I ripped it at 450, we're split between a star and a tier 1. And the tier 1 pool right now, and granted it is all-star break, so it is still it's skewed massively. But if I saved up all my rare essence, and I've been so burned from that 550 PTSD version. Like if I pulled a Donovan Klingon or like an Alex Sarr or a Dyson Daniels, I'd be gutted. I really would. If I saved it all the way up there and got that, I'd be gutted. Whereas if I pull it at tier 3, you're looking at an option, you're going to get someone in this realm. And then I understand it, like the Keldon Johnson that we just pulled here. Then I'm like, yeah, do you know what? I can't complain because it's a tier 3 card. That's the one thing. How much is a Keldon Johnson going for as well? Whilst we're here, we will have a look. £11.50. So that's what I mean. But that's what I'd expect. I've lost my train of thought here whilst we go back to opening the Super S stuff. Super S stuff is also something I did want to have a little bit of a chat with you guys about. Obviously, as some of you know, I moved into Super Rare sort of the back end of last year, building up the gallery over the off season. Really sort of looking forward to sort of grinding in the classic stuff. But again, the grind for it as such, where you can only realistically win as we pick up 5 essence there. Where does that put us? 53. So, hopefully we'll get a tier 4 to pull by the end of the year. But where the classic competitions are with Super Rare stuff, as I'll scroll on down here, the prize pool is so scarce. And I'm talking like top 50, you'll get a box. But even then, it's still quite hard in the champion stuff. The contender stuff to 65, that feels like that's been bumped. I might be wrong there. But to win cards in the Super S stuff is just almost impossible. You need top 7 in contender, top 8 in champion. If a Nikola Jokic goes off in champion, you've basically not won anything in champion that week. And then in contender, you need the ultimate guy every single time to have a chance. And it's just quite hard every single week to, especially in the contender, unless you're a mega whale with 200 Super Rare cards. It is difficult. It's not impossible because I've already won something in contender before, but I just think they're a little bit too harsh. And whilst I'm saying this as well, the other thing that I would like to see on the daily side of things is when you're going into the prize pools each week, and we've got top 10% gets a 3-star box. I probably should move myself so you could see it here. Let me move myself down quickly. So you've got top 10% wins a 3-star box, top 2% is a 2-star, top 20% wins a 2-star box, top 25% of the player base wins a 1-star box. Why in these boxes here? Again, we're looking at 3 Super Rare Essence as the best thing you can get. 5 in that one, 10, no, and you can get 7 or unique essence. Again, if I got unique essence, I'd genuinely be more annoyed because I'm not getting. I don't even know how much unique essence you need to craft. 100. So I'd have to win that 20 times. I'm never going to get that. And I'm unsure if it does reset at the start of the season or not. The point is, if I'm playing in the daily stuff, at the minute it's now just become it's not a sort of laborious task. It's still nice to win these boxes. And if you pick up some of the nice stuff and you can get some really nice market credits, which again is nice every now and then. It's annoying if you get it all the time. But if I can't win, a card in these, there is no volatility in them for me. I'm talking in the sense of that I'd like to go on there. I'd like to have had, I don't know how many boxes I just had then. So I've opened rewards for sort of, what, 3 game weeks over the course of 10, 14 days, probably just then. I had all those boxes and we didn't really care about them. They were in the background as I was chatting to you. I'd love them to have a 1% chance at a card. Just something that could be huge. Like when we had the event recently that was the All-Star cards, and don't be wrong, I love the stuff for this. And it was when you bought cards, let me pull the screen back up. This promo, the golden ticket giveaway. And, if every time you bought, you had a 10% chance, an additional pro card from any NBA team, and a 90% chance to unlock a 5-star box. I can't show you what the specific breakdown in those 5-star boxes were, but I know for a fact that they had cards involved in them. I think they had a mystery jersey, maybe a 1% chance, and something else. Now, I know this because I won. I bought a few different pieces to sort of bolster my collection scores and some of the new season stuff. So, like, picked up a LeBron James, and don't get me wrong, I was taking advantage of some of the market credit stuff. So, like, I needed a Steph Curry because I'd already got some in-season Warrior cards. So I thought, I don't have a rare one, I'll pick one of him up. But I bought the LeBron and I won a Stephen Castle. Now, the fact that you can open the box and win these is great because also, again, at the same time, you're like, oh, this is sick. Bought this guy, I can get this. Why, if we have the functionality to do that in the daily hoops, there should be, now that we've got this limited daily pickup, what essentially is just, again, another essence distribution that is very minute and small. Yes, if you won top prize, you get 30 essence. That's great, but it's not going to move the needle for anyone. No one's getting that excited over it. It's very cool, but it's, again, you'd forget about it the next day. I would so much rather, we've got this rare daily pickup, and then the rare daily hoops, just make it more interesting. Even if you scrap the 25% off to get rid of these 1-star boxes, put something in there in these boxes that gives the opportunity to win some of these cards. Like, it's a very small percent. It's a 1% chance at a start, 0.5% chance at a tier 1, or however you want to do it. Just add something in there that has some volatility. Because then it's so much more exciting. Like, for me as a player, I'm then thinking, okay, I will play Super Rare Daily Hoops because if I get that off-season chance where I'm going to win one of them, where people are going to focus their cards in the main weekly tournament, me with a smaller gallery has more of an opportunity to try and get something in this Super Rare stuff. That's just where I am. I haven't actually mentioned yet as well. If we scroll back, that was the Rare All-Star Game stuff. Again, $7,500 up for grabs. Managed to scoop something in the rare scene. But on the week before, can I not scroll back? I can't even show you. Bol Bol balled out, had like a 66-point performance. Had him in my champion teams, and that's where I won some of the cards for it. But yeah, I think that I just kind of want to get a grips on. So, I mean, what's this now? 14 minutes that we were at, 13 minutes? Yeah. I think where I want to go with this, I think towards the back end of the season, I really want to see something innovative is probably what I'd say. And it's potentially a little bit too late to ask for that. But, hey, if you don't ask, you don't get. As ever, also, some of the stuff where I've won these prizes and these boxes really does help. I've spoken about this enough. Billy Jackson, the team over at Top Tier Projections, do an amazing job every single game week of sorting out the easiest plays that you need every single week. If you don't have Top Tier Projections yet, and you're at this point in the video, if you're watching 14 minutes deep in a So Rare video and you haven't got Top Tier Projections, I can't sort of stress to you how much you need it if you're in this depth of a So Rare video and you don't have the best third-party tool out there for building lineups. They essentially break down every single slate from game week to game week, and they'll show you who's got the best projections for that given game week and who is outperforming their cap according to these projections. So, again, Karis Levert, Bol Bol that we just mentioned, obviously now getting that sort of starting really high minute bump. Roland Phoenix, Donovan Clingan, Kawhi Leonard, Cat. Every single game week, it has them there for you in terms of the general base. And then it also, due to you can link your account, it will pull through your exact gallery, show you your cards there alongside your boosted projections, and then you can see in your gallery who are your top plays to play. Does it across limited, does it across rare, super rare. And, if you've got unique and you don't have this, then, yeah, you're cooked. Champion, contender, underdog, simple as that. You go and you click run, and it spits out the best lineup for you. If you don't have it, go and visit the link in my description. Get yourself set up. You'll also get, I think it's a 10% discount. I'm not sure on what the bonus for it is, but you do get a special discount, and I get a little bit of kickback to help support making these videos. But yeah, like I just mentioned, some of the top players that are there for this week: Bol Bol, Donovan Clingan, Karis LeVert, Kawhi Leonard, Russell Westbrook in there as well, even though he's questionable. I think he'll be coming back. So not sure. Again, these are projections. I don't use them as gospel. I use them as sort of a helpful indicator when building some of my lineups. But yeah, these are some of the guys that I'm going to be picking up. I've already got a couple of them. I've got 2 Karis LeVerts. I'm not going to buy Donovan Clingan. I've got a couple of Bol Bols. Kawhi Leonard is genuinely someone that I'm looking at as well, because now I think his minutes are getting ramped up after they've been really careful with him all season long. But I think that's going to just about do it. I don't want this video to go on for too long, and I'm going to try and get a lot more so-rare stuff done now that we're approaching the sort of busiest end of the NBA season. All-Star break again. I think less said about that was better. The dunk contest was a little bit more fun, and we're getting the classic stuff now where Giannis, AG, and Ja Morant are all saying, "Oh, we're going to do it," and then next year we'll end up with Christ, who are we going to end up with next year? Jesus, it's going to be bad. Right. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree with any of my sentiments, by the way. I really do want to hear just your general opinions on what you want to see on the SoRare NBA platform on the back end. There's some other stuff that I want to talk about, but we'll get into that on another video. And yeah, I think I'm going to leave that one there. Thank you very much for listening, and peace.